Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about what January is going to be like for all 12 signs of the zodiac. And remember, you can be looking from your sun sign as well as the moon and ascendant sign. And I just started adding the sun sign, but the sun sign really does work more for the spirit, the spiritual. So let me explain what I'm talking about. So what you must do if you want to listen to the ones that are going to apply to you, you're going to want to find out what your Vedic sidereal ascendant is, moon sign, and your sun sign. And these all three variables make up who you are. Basically, let me explain. So you probably wonder, how can all three of these signs apply to me when there's all these different scenarios going on? Well, they do. And let me explain how. The ascendant is basically you, your physical being. So that is so important, right? But the moon sign is your mind and emotions. So the moon will reflect how you feel about everything, which really and truly feeling is everything. So you definitely want to know your ascendant and your moon sign. Now the sun sign is your spirit. And so therefore it deals more with the spiritual essence of how you feel about what's going on with all of this. They all work in a different way. So you're going to want to know your moon, ascendant, and sun sign sidereal placements. Now, if you have no idea where your placements are, they're different than tropical Western. You can't apply that. You want to look at your Vedic chart. And the way you can find that out is you can go to my website and go to my free chart calculator and put in all your information. That is galacticcenter.org. Now, while you're at my website, don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter, get all my predictions delivered to your email, and don't forget to check out my Patreon. You'll want to be part of my spiritual community, and we meet live every week, talk about the most important things going on in the world. Another thing. The Galactic Planner actually does what I'm doing here, but in specific, greater detail. This is what I'm telling you for the month is very general. With the planner, it is not general. It is very personal, just about you and your personal planets. The Galactic Planner will calculate your chart and plug all of this in accordance to where your planets are. So if you haven't tried the Galactic Planner yet, try it out. You're going to love it. And we are implementing some of the most amazing new tools with AI and voice activation, everything. We're going to make this into the best app out there. So look it over, feel it out. You're going to love it. Now, if you want to study with me, around the first of the year, I start semester 1. So go to universityofvedicastrology.com and become my student. So let's get going and let's talk about what January means to you according to your sidereal moon, ascendant, and sun. So if you find your sidereal placements are in Aries, then this month there is going to be a stellium of planets in Sagittarius, which are in your 9th house. This is the house of spirituality and truth. This is such a good time for new developments in learning, possibly even in teaching, going to school, new classes. And if you don't have time to go to school, I promise you, you're reading or you're listening to videos, you are learning so much. New information is what it's all about for you, particularly the first half of the month. The second half of the month, And this starts after pretty much around the time of the new moon. It's going to be all about your work and your career. So it's like the first part of the month, you're learning, you're gathering information. You could even be traveling. Absolutely, this is the first part of the month, first few weeks, you're traveling. You're going places, doing things, learning, very active. But the second half, you get to work and you are really building some new things, new things with your work and your career, because the new moon's going to be in your 10th house, which is phenomenal for career and work and advancement. Also, when it comes to your social standing and your reputation, you will be on top of things. Things are opening up for you career-wise, and that is a blessing. So if you're wanting to get a job, that's the time after the new moon. If you are wanting to get that promotion, go for it. This is the month, the second half of this month will really, really give you great and grand opportunities. If your ascendant, moon, or your sun sit in sidereal Taurus, then I'm looking at all of these Sagittarius planets, which is Sun, Venus, Mars, and the new moon of the early part, well, let's just say the full moon of the early part of January will be in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of transformation and change, but most of all, it can deal with some really deep understandings psychologically that you are getting in touch with. Understanding yourself, understanding what you're doing and why. But another thing is, this is a time of deep research, getting some answers about things that you've been in question about. You will find them. The problem is there's a little bit of anger attached to it. Don't be angry about what you discovered. Just go with it and use the information to transform and change your life. Because that is definitely what it's there for. Because a lot of things are going to come to a head where you start to discover some things you didn't know about. And some of it can be a little discerning and confusing, but it's time and it is an awakening for you. So the second half of the month, once we come to the new moon, all these planets are going to go into your 9th house, which is the house of luck and fortune. So this will be a fortunate time for you in the second half of the month. And another thing is the 9th house deals with learning, truth, spirituality. That is what it's going to be all about. And let me say, if your father is still alive, you will have some meetups with him. Be aware there might be some conflicts. But the 9th house is also the house of travel. And I see where you can have some great opportunities for travel. And they may come unexpectedly, but go for it. It's time to travel and find new things. The 9th house is most definitely the house of truth. So this is where you feel like you connect to not only what's going on in the world, but your own truths. That's what this is really telling you and what it's good for. If your moon or your ascendant or even your sun sit in sidereal Gemini, then the first half of the month, it's going to be all about your relationship. What is going on in your relationship? And possibly your partner. Your partner may have some issues going on that you need to attest to. All right? So this is important that you pay attention to what is going on with your partner. Now, this could even mean business partnerships, so be aware that there might be some obstacles or things to iron out, because this deals a lot with conflicts with Mars there, but Jupiter's there, so it will end on a great, good note. So something just needs to be worked out in the area of partnerships in the first half of the month. And it will be, and it will turn out great. Now, for the second half of the month, after the new moon, or around the time of the new moon, all these planets in Capricorn are in your 8th house. And the 8th house is the house of major change and transformation. And this means everything is changing for you. There is this place where you've been researching, analyzing, trying to get to the bottom of things and find your answers. And guess what? You will. Whether you like it or not. That's the issue, whether you like it or not. Now, with all these planets, and Mars will be exalted, by the way, in Capricorn, you will get to the core and the bottom of things, and a lot of it is psychological. What has been prompting you to do certain behaviors and reactions? And all of this is going to make a lot more sense, where you're going to be able to work it out and feel better about it all for the coming year. This is deep, dark stuff. Another thing is, you might be finding you could come into some money through other people, maybe inheritances and or investors and things of that nature. If your moon or your ascendant or even your sun sign sit in sidereal Cancer, then the first half of the month, all the planets are going to be grouped up, not all of them, but a big portion of them in the sign of Sagittarius. And this means they're going to be in your 6th house. The 6th house deals with work and service and health and healing. All of these things are going to be where your energy is, what you're focused in on, getting healthier, getting stronger, and working hard to get there. And situations around the workplace will be extremely busy and productive. Yes, you might have a little conflict for the first part of the month, but it can be and will be resolved, and it will make situations in your life, especially around work, better. Now, I want you to know you need to focus in on your health, and by doing so, you will get healthier. So if you find you might get sick or something like that in the first half of the month, it's going to be okay. You'll get over it. It's just something minor. But the second half of the month, right before or at the time of the new moon, all the same planets are going to group up in Capricorn, which is in your 7th house. And this means the focus is around relationships and partnerships. So you're going to find that your partner in your relationship will be excelling in some way. There's something big, a big transformational change for them. And because Mars is exalted, it should be something very positive. But just make sure that you aren't argumentative, because Mars will make you a little bit combative and argumentative, or make them that way. Just realize it's very temporary. It is probably something you need to take stock at and be aware of. Yes, there is something going on with partnerships, and you need to come together and realize where your differences are and resolve them. If your moon or your ascendant and even your sun sign sit in sidereal Leo, then all these planets in Sagittarius are in your 5th house for the first half of the month. 5th house is the house of creativity, of talent. And you're going to be flooded with all sorts of new ideas. This is remarkable and just amazing how many new ideas you're getting for the new year. And yes, you should pursue them. This is the year that it can come together and really work. And this first half of the month is where you get it all jump-started. Now, if you have children, they may be needing your attention more. Yes, just be aware that there's some kind of events and things you got to be part of and take time to be with your children. It's also a good time for investing and investments. Go for it. Yeah, there is so many things that you're thinking about you want to invest in, and I think you can do it. Go for it. Now, for the second half of the month, around the time of the new moon, all these planets will go to your 6th house, which means the second half of the month you'll be more involved with working hard, making things happen. It's your focus. But all at the same time, be careful of accidents and your health. Don't overdo, because I think with all the hard work, you might be overdoing and overprocessing. Take it easy. Yes, things will be productive. And yes, if you put your mind to it, you can change a lot of bad habits and become a lot healthier. If your moon or your ascendant or your sun sit in sidereal Virgo, then all these Sagittarian planets are grouped up in your 4th house. This means you're thinking about moving or doing something to your home, possibly renovating. You're seeing all sorts of things that need to be changed, and or possibly are thinking, well, maybe it'd be better if I make a move. So you could move, and or you could be changing something in your house, maybe redecorating, redoing, but something changes in your house. It might even involve maybe something where the change, just the environment, somebody moves in or out, but something changes in the home. And if your mother's still around, you'll be visiting, you'll be connecting. And the second half of the month, around the new moon, all these planets are going to go into your 5th house. And the 5th house is the house of creativity and talent. And you're going to start having all of these amazing new ideas that you can implement. And yes, it'll take off and it'll change your life. Now, if you have children, they're going to need your attention this month, the second half of the month. It's important. They're very busy and very active, and they need you. So don't forget, investments are going to be a very profound interest the second half of the month. So if your sun, your ascendant, or your moon sit in sidereal Libra, then this means all these Sagittarian planets are in your 3rd house. So what does that mean for you? The first half of the month, you could be traveling, maybe by car, but you're on the road, you're going places, very, very busy. And or you could be learning new things, maybe thinking about taking some classes, reading up on something, expanding your knowledge. And even your communication skills open up. Maybe you decide you're going to finally write that book. But one thing for sure is you're being more creative and using your talents. So you might be taking new courses or new classes. And if you have brothers and sisters, you could come together and be with them more and open the doors of communications. Now, the second half of the month around the new moon. You're going to find that all these planets are in your 4th house. This is about you wanting to change your environment, your home, where you live, maybe move, maybe renovate, and or redecorate. Or somebody moves in or out. Something about your home environment will change. Now, if your mother's still around, you will be in connection with her. If your ascendant or your moon or even your sun sit in sidereal Scorpio, then all these Sagittarian planets are in your 2nd house. This could be a good month for financial gains, but please be aware not to overspend. Because sometimes when Mars is in your 2nd house, you can be impulsive and it could create some massive spending spree that you may regret. So take it easy with that. But all in all, I do think it is a month that money could come in and or the first part of the month. So it could be through some settlements or inheritances, something of that effect. Now, the 2nd half of the month, particularly after the new moon, all these planets will go to Capricorn into your 3rd house. And this represents that you will be traveling, you will be on the road, going places more, and you're probably learning something new. You're thinking about new studies or classes or courses. Go for it. Might even be writing more, but your communication skills open up big time. If you're into social media, it's going to really, really open. And if you have brothers or sisters, you might find that you'll be visiting them or communicating with them all the more. If your ascendant or your moon or even your sun sit in sidereal Sagittarius, then this means all these planets in Sagittarius are in your 1st house. This is a new awakening for you. It is new beginnings, new opportunities. There's so much going on in your 1st house. You're extraordinarily busy. This really fits with who you are. New things, new adventures, new learning, and new opportunities. This is all yours. Even the way you look could change. You're changing everything about yourself. Then come the 2nd half of the month with the new moon. All these planets are going to shift to your 2nd house in Capricorn. And this deals with finances and money, where this tells me you could come into more money, except watch your spending. There can be too much spending going on. Mars is there. But I think you're going to, if you're spending, it's probably okay because you're making money just as well. Money will be coming in. Another thing is you will probably have some meetings with your family, coming together with family. And lots of things need to be discussed and worked out. If your ascendant, your moon, or even your sun sign sit in sidereal Capricorn, then all these planets are grouped up that are in Sagittarius for the 1st half of the month in your 12th house. This means this 1st half of the month, you are bringing things to completion, finishing up a lot of old projects, things that you couldn't get done before, come to resolution. But furthermore, with this, there are a lot of things that are coming back to you as remembrances or things you have to work out from the past. So this is very important that you resolve some issues from the past. Now, it may come out of the blue. You didn't expect it. But because of this kind of worries you and keeps you awake at night. You're having problems with sleeping. But it will all turn out just fine, because even by the 2nd half of the month with the new moon, All these planets will be in your first house, which means a new beginning. You finish up things from the past and you start anew. By the second half of the month, everything opens up. There's new opportunities. There's expansion. You feel confident. You feel great, good. You're going fast. You feel strong. This is a time of new beginnings for you. If your ascendant or moon sign or even your sun sign sit in sidereal Aquarius, then all these Sagittarius planets are in your 11th house for the first half of the month. The 11th house deals with friends, groups, and organizations. It deals with meeting important and powerful people, but all at the same time, I gotta say, there's going to be a breakup with a friend or either a disagreement. It will only last for the first part of the month. But through that disagreement, there can be a new awakening, a new beginning with friendships. You will probably be invited to a lot of social events for the first few weeks. I say go. You're going to meet important people. Now, the second half of the month, you're probably going to be recovering from all the activity. So you will pull back and rest more. But there's going to be some things about people from the past that reemerge that you haven't thought about in a while, that you have to bring to a conclusion, a realization, conclusion, and an end. And yes, you got to be careful of your health too, because you're not resting well. And when people don't rest, that's the time they're most likely to get sick. So take care of yourself. Resolve the issues that concern you. If your ascendant, moon sign, or even your sun sign sit in sidereal Pisces, then all these planets in Sagittarius are in your 10th house. This is phenomenal for work and career. Yes, you are going to have career opportunities, new beginnings, new starts. It's amazing what can happen the first few weeks. And I get, if you're wanting a promotion, opportunity through the job you have, go for it, because this is the time period it could happen. You're very driven and very ambitious at this point. Be careful of your boss, though. You don't want to make them a little bit concerned because they may be a little jealous. Just be cautious. Don't try to outdo your boss. Now, the second half of the month is going to be around the time of the new moon. All these planets will go into your 11th house, which is the house of great gains. You will find there's going to be gains coming in, and a lot of them. But it will probably be relative or in relationship to some groups of people you know, or opportunities that friends or people that you meet will bring into your life. There might be some kind of upsets with a friend, though, as well, but it will be able to be worked out. Very powerful, strong, aggressive friend that you have. If you have an older sibling, you might find that this is the time you got to work something out with them. So much energy is here with social events. Be aware, you'll get many invitations and go many places in the second half of January. So with that, I have concluded all 12 signs for what they can expect personally for the month of January of 2026. With that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you'd like more information on me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And if you'd like to learn Vedic astrology, go to my university website, University of Vedic Astrology www.joni.com. Thank you.